Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. Welcome back. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend. So I have two candle reviews for you guys today. They are both from Kringle. However, one is from the soy line and the other, which is going to be going up a little bit later, is from the country candle line. I will finally be reviewing apple cider cake. I really thought I had reviewed that before, but I think I've just mentioned it so many times just in like the weekly home fragrance roundup or whatever that I had assumed I had done that. Turns out I haven't. So we're gonna get to that after this video. So, but in this video right here, we're gonna be focusing on one of the new for fall 2022 fragrances in the soy line, and this one is called Rail Bridge. And I have to admit that at first I wasn't super impressed with this one on cold sniff. I mean, I thought it smelled nice, but it wasn't one of those fragrances where I was like, oh yeah, I like this, you know. But the thing is, with a lot of different fragrances, I think the difference really is when you light them and you just have an opportunity to see how the fragrance transforms. I think it's just really important to, I guess, not always judge a candle on cold sniff. Don't get me wrong, it's certainly where, you know, I build my first impression. And as logical as I try to be, sometimes I smell something on cold and I'm like, oh yeah, this is not it for me. This one I thought was nice on cold sniff, but it also smelled very masculine. This is a more masculine fragrance, but it has a really nice sort of citrus running through it that makes it super enjoyable for me. And if there's one thing that I will give Kringle Candle credit for, it is that they do fresh, aromatic, and perfumey type fragrances incredibly well. I tend to personally gravitate a lot more, just in my preference, towards gourmand scents. And while I think that Kringle does have a few absolutely delicious gourmand options in both the soy and the country candle line, I think really what they excel at are these fresher type fragrances over the gourmands. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing. Most of us tend to shop from several different companies because we feel like we can kind of find, you know, one particular type of scent from company A, and then if we are looking for a completely different vibe, we might go to company B, and you know, so on and so forth. So for me, I really like Kringle for during the spring and summer, a lot of their fruity blends, but then when we get into the fall months and especially the holiday months, they do fresh tree scents absolutely beautifully. They do these sort of perfumey or cologne-y masculine type scents really well, and they're just really, really enjoyable. So yeah, Kringle is one of those companies where I have had to learn that sometimes you really just need to light something up and burn it for like a couple of days to really be able to get a sense of whether you enjoy the fragrance or not. And again, there are times where, you know, you smell something and you're like, yep, nope, this is not it. But this one here, I definitely had some initial thoughts about it. And then as soon as I lit it up, I was like, oh, I really like this. This kind of reminds me of, I'll talk about what it reminds me of here in a little bit, but yeah, it definitely has some memory triggers for me. So, but we'll get into that after we talk about the description here and go over the top, middle, and base notes. So let's go ahead and get started. By the way, currently the special on Kringle Candle, and for this particular one, they are not allowing, at least I don't think, I need to double check, but I don't think they are allowing the influencer discount code with the $20 large jar special that they have right now with the fall candles. You can always try entering the code. I mean, it's always worth a try. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. It seems like the trend is that if they have a discount code that you have to remember, like if there's like a special and then they say like Labor Day sale is the quote unquote discount code, typically when you have to enter that discount code to get the sale price, they won't let you combine the influencer discount code on top of it, because it's a pretty good deal as is. So, but it's always just worth a try entering it. So I'll put the information in the description box down below, but you can get this right now, not the medium jar. These are just the large jars that are on sale for $20, but that's a pretty good deal because typically they are $29.50. So your scent description for Rail Bridge is a fresh masculine fall fragrance, starts with bergamot and orange peel and blends softly with exotic woody notes to complete this complex blend. And this is definitely more of an intricate, complex, like there's quite a few things going on in here, but I feel like the order that I can smell them in, it's just really, really super pleasant. So your top notes here are bergamot and orange. Your mid notes are black peppercorn, apple, and floral. Your base is amberwood, patchouli, and musk. So the very first thing that I smell are the bergamot and orange peel notes. I definitely also smell a slight spiciness to this, which would probably come from that black peppercorn, but I think it would also come in with the amberwood just a little bit. Now the patchouli, if you see that in the description and that scares you off, I can smell patchouli in here, but it's not the first thing that hits my nose. Honestly, when this is lit, and it's so much better when it's lit, like this is definitely one of those fragrances where you want to light it. You want to smell this warm. Don't judge it on cold sniff. But the patchouli really is more in the background, but it does lend itself to those really beautiful kind of slightly spicy, like masculine notes that are present in this candle. As far as the apple and the floral, I gotta admit, like as much as I like stick my nose into this scent, both when it's burning and when it's, you know, not lit, I really cannot get any apple and I cannot get any floral. This really has some, like, I would say, I don't want to say like super soapy type vibes, but it kind of reminds me of maybe like an Irish Spring soap or like a Zest, and I'm talking like the old school soap bars, which, is there anyone that still uses bars of soap anymore? I've used body wash for so many years, but I remember growing up, my mom was big on getting like bars of Irish Spring and Ivory and Zest. It just kind of depended what was on sale that week or whatever. But yeah, like those soapy kind of slightly masculine vibes really come out at me with this particular scent. It's really, really enjoyable and different. So I've had this in a few areas in the house, and I have to admit that my favorite is probably actually the dining room. The dining room is a little bit of a black hole in our house. Most of the candles or fragrances that I have going in there kind of stay mostly contained, which for this type of scent is kind of nice for me, only because I don't think it pairs super well with the majority of my like pumpkin spice and, you know, like more foodie, heavy type fragrances that I have going in the rest of the house. But when I walk into the dining room to either like look out the front window or something, like I am just met with this really beautiful, definitely masculine, but like not overpowering, slightly manly scent. It's really quite nice. And honestly, if Craig had a cologne in this particular fragrance, I think I would really like it on him. This would also be a really lovely bedroom candle. I just think that when it comes to blends like this, Kringle really does a beautiful job because this isn't overpowering. It's not overly masculine to the point where you're like, ugh, you know, it smells like, I don't know, some cheesy dude at like a nightclub or something. Like it doesn't give off that vibe at all. It smells very, it smells a little bit exotic, but it also just smells warm, kind of comforting, but definitely fresh, definitely maybe a little bit more, well, a lot more masculine than what I normally go for, but it's still just it's a great scent, you guys. I don't know. It's not one that I see myself purchasing like multiple of, but if I were giving a gift as like a housewarming present or something to one of my guy friends, like this is totally the type of scent that I would give, because I think the aesthetics of it are still just kind of neutral. I love the image. I love those old like wooden rail bridges. I just think they're so beautiful. And obviously with those fall colors, like I have never really spent a lot of time in New England, but this is really honestly like in my head and just based off of what I've seen on TV and obviously on Instagram. Like this is the type of image that just makes me think, oh man, maybe that's where I should be living. I love the colors. I love just that outdoorsy vibe. You know, I don't really do a ton of outdoor activities because I kind of hate the heat. And then when it's raining, there's no need to go outside. But like if this were the fall vibe, oh man, I think I'd have to spend a lot more time outdoors. It's a beautiful image. So I definitely give it to them for both putting together this blend as well as choosing some really beautiful and unique labels for this fall collection. In terms of the strength and the throw, I'm having my typical Kringle look here. The burn, as you can see, is completely clean. This one hasn't completely pulled out, but I'm getting a solid, I would say like close to an inch of wax pull once this finally gets going here. I trimmed the wicks ever so slightly. There is no discoloration, there's no sooting, there's nothing at all that comes off on my finger, just because these just do not typically have problems. Every once in a while I will get a Kringle soy candle that might have a little bit of sooting happening, but typically that is not an issue with these at all. Now, in terms of strength and throw, this is right around like a 6 in terms of strength, and it's right around, I would say maybe, I would put the throw at like, at least where I have it now, at about a 4 or a 5. It really fills that room, that dining room beautifully, and I certainly smell it like kind of coming out of the entryways on either end of the dining room, but it does not have the oomph to really bust through much further than that. And that's okay for this scent for me. If you were wanting to get a little bit more strength or throw out of this, I would certainly pair it with their wax melts. Although I don't think that you necessarily have to. I don't think that the Kringle 2-wick format is really meant to blow you out of the house. And at first that was something that was difficult for me to kind of get used to with them. They are a little bit more on the subtle end of the spectrum, and quite frankly in the past, like if it wasn't a 10 out of 10 in terms of strength and throw, like I would kind of poo-poo the candle. But I think I understand that there are certain fragrances that are just meant to be more of like an accent in your house versus someone walking in and going, whoa, what did you spray? What is happening in here? So the strength is perfect for me. The throw is fine, just because I do really want this to be more of a room specific type scent for me. But if you're looking for a 10 out of 10, these are not the candles for you. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've had great luck with them. I really enjoy them, and the fragrances and the quality of the burn are what really sell me on Kringle. But if you, like I said, are used to maybe some of like if Leaves from Bath and Body Works is your starting standpoint, or something like Summer Boardwalk, yeah, I don't think you're going to be happy with the strength and throw of these. But, you know, if you are okay with certain fragrances maybe being a little bit more subtle, then I would say these are definitely worth checking out. So Overall, I'm definitely going to give this a thumbs up. I'm glad that I picked it up. I think it was definitely worth it, and to be able to experience something a little bit different is a nice change of pace for me. And I think if you're interested in trying something a little bit different, I think this is one that would be worth checking out for you. So hopefully this review was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll put a link on where to shop Kringle Candle in the description box right below this video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you coming up here in a few hours for my thoughts on my beloved apple cider cake. Oh, it's so good, you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.